Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to day 16 of my 31 Days of Horror Challenge in October. Now that we are on day 16, I figured this would be a good one to talk about for this month. It's a film I really do enjoy. It's my favorite film of this director. And I know Peter Jackson really enjoyed this film, the guy that did Lord of the Rings. Well, considering this is the same director, or Peter Jackson, same director that did Bad Taste and Dead Alive and things like that. An unrelenting, gruesomely funny bloodbath. I loved it. Coming from Peter Jackson. I know there's a couple of other people that really enjoyed this film. Cabin Fever may do for cabin rentals, which always did for beach parties. And as you can tell by the title, I just gave the title away. It's going to be on this. Cabin Fever. Now, Cabin Fever was a film that was released, I believe, in 2002. I think this was 2002. 2003. It was. I think it might have been 2003. I don't remember. I can't remember for sure. Because apparently they say the I'm not really good at reading Roman numerals, sadly. So I think this is probably I think this is a 2003 movie, but directed by Eli Roth. Like I said, this is probably my favorite Eli Roth film. Then after this would be Death Wish, and then the first Hostel. That'd be my top 3 Eli Roth films. I think this is his best film that he's directed because it's a really interesting idea. And the basic idea is that in the beginning of the film, you have this guy who falls into the water. Because he's infected, and he ends up contaminating the water in the woods. And you have a bunch of these kids going out there on a vacation into the mountains. You have Jeff, Karen, Paul, Marcy, and Bert. The kids in here, you have Ryder Strong, you have Jordan Ladd, James DeBello, who was what was his name in that movie? Was it Trip? In Detroit Rock City, this guy here, this guy there, without the long hair, that's the guy from Detroit Rock City. My favorite character from Detroit Rock City is James DeBello. Really funny in that movie. He plays like the jerk-off character in this, and he does a really good job. You also have Serena Vincent, who was in, I know before this she was in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show. She played the Yellow Ranger. I think it might have been, no, Lost Galaxy Power Rangers. Sorry, not Mighty Morphin. The Lost Galaxy Power Rangers. She was the Yellow Ranger. And you also have Joey Kern, and you also have Giuseppe Andrews as the Deputy Winston. It's party, man. Giuseppe Andrews was also in Detroit Rock City with James DeBello in that movie. But, I mean, the story itself is pretty simple. Like I said, you have those kids going out into the mountains on a vacation in this cabin, and then little by little they start getting this flesh-eating disease because they drink the water that the guy infected earlier in the beginning of the movie, and then they're slowly dying one by this flesh-eating virus. And in a way, it's a really refreshing idea for a horror film that takes place in the woods. Because you figure you had like Friday the 13th and Just Before Dawn, like those slasher movies where it was like a killer in the woods. Like Jason films and Just Before Dawn and The Burning and all those like camp slasher movies. So it's kind of interesting about this like kind of different serial killer in this, where it's a flesh-eating disease that's killing everybody. It's eating at their skin, and I think it's a highly entertaining movie. Really great special effects by KMB. KMB did the special effects in this. I think they did a great job with the special effects, especially this one part when one of the girls is shaving her legs in the bathtub, and when she's shaving her legs and some skin peels off and you see a little bit of blood. And I tell you what, it looked really, really real. It really did. So that's why I gotta give credit to the makeup effects. And on top of that too, this film also has like elements of like a dark comedy, because you have this one kid with long blonde hair who keeps yelling pancakes, pancakes, and he's like doing these jumps and things like that, and he ends up biting Bert because Bert's looking for help and things like that. But I just feel like Cabin Fever is one of those films that I think I would highly recommend you guys check out. And I know there was, I think, 2 sequels to this and a remake. The sequels, I didn't really care much for the sequels. The third one, the one redeeming quality I like about the third film was it had Curry Graham in it, who was in Survive the Night. He was the main bad guy in Survive the Night, so I like that. Hey, it was cool to see him. I didn't care for the remake. The remake was really pretty much a carbon copy of this movie, just shot for shot, line for line. It was just like Psycho and The Omen all over again. And I don't even... Did this film really need a remake? I don't think so. Because I think the remake was in like 2016 or 2017, and it was only like 14 or so years later after this. And it's like, really, like, you remade it, but you just made it line for line and shot for shot. Like, I just don't get like why remakes do that. But this is definitely the better version of the movie. Really good DVD too. 5 commentaries, making of, things like that. But I think the characters do a great job. I like this cast of people. Like, I like Ryder Strong, Jordan Ladd. It was cool to see James DeBello and Giuseppe Andrews in a movie together from Detroit Rock City. It was really cool to see them together in a movie. Serena Vincent does good. Joey Kern does good. I really like the character of Giuseppe Andrews as Deputy Winston. I love the character. You know, it's party, man. I love Giuseppe Andrews in the movie. Really great special effects by KNB. Like I said, just really great makeup effects on like when the skin's like bubbling and the flesh-eating disease is eating away at them and things like that. I think it's really directed very well by Eli Roth. And in a way, it's an interesting concept where it's a flesh-eating virus. You don't really see many movies like that nowadays, and I think that's what made this film kind of original, in my opinion. But if you haven't seen Cabin Fever, I would highly recommend you check this out. It's a pretty good Eli Roth film. It's definitely my favorite of his. So that is pretty much it for my review for Cabin Fever. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care.